Dun 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 dun. Bad lore. Yeah. So I told her, that's not water, Mary. That's gasoline.
Oh, I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah, she's dead. Oh, hey, we didn't see you there. Welcome back to another episode of Raynday Gaming. My name is Raynday, and of course this is
Benday.
That's right. We are up in Santiago, Chile, and we decided to give you guys the real lore about Amaterasu. No, we're kidding. We made up a game, and we think it's pretty funny. For all of you who haven't seen me in a little bit, you may not have noticed, but I'm halfway around the world right now, or at least down below where we normally are in the United States of America, Santiago, Chile, for about a month. So we might be doing some series like this in the future, but this is a brand new series we're breaking out today called Bad Lore. That's right. Do we have a theme song for that? Bad Lore. We got that perfect. We did not plan that. The game comprises of Rory's story cubes. I'm not sponsored by them, but damn it, I should be. And a god. So today we're going to be, in honor of the new god Amaterasu, walking you through Amaterasu's bad lore, which is obviously not true. Each one of us is going to have a chance to roll these die and pick one up, and whatever thing we get is going to influence, there's a little tree, or it could be something like a castle, influence our decision. So the rules are you have to say something related to the cube, and you only have 10 seconds to keep the lore going until we pass turn. So we'll be alternating. You are a lore expert from what I understand.
Yeah, and from what you understand.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started.
Let's do this.
Okay, so I'll go first. Now, the first way I suggest you guys playing is actually taking these cubes out, roll them on the table, picking one randomly, and then using it to suggest what the god is the god of. So Amaterasu is the god of cell phones. Amaterasu is the god of cell phones. Ben, your turn. Go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So we got this.
Amaterasu is the god of cell phones, which, as we know, were invented when the ancient Egyptians built the Pyramid of Giza. Not Giza, Giza. Giza, like
Time. Giza like Verizon.
like Verizon.
Like Verizon.
Like Verizon.
Oh man, and there's a lot of Egyptian. Let's see. Let's go ahead and my roll here. I got the man. What is that? Okay, that's a sleeping man. All right, my turn. Here we go. So Amaterasu, being the god of cell phones and created in the ancient Egyptian time, also found out that when she was poisoned by a man who wanted to make her sleep a lot, she got locked away in a dungeon.
Time. That was the hardest way to count ever.
I'm so bad at that, though.
My hands were...
I'm so bad at that.
So
okay,
she went to a dungeon?
Yeah, so that was a long way of saying someone wanted to make her sleep forever and locked her in a dungeon.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Amaterasu, god of cell phones, from the Great Pyramid of Giza. Someone wanted to make her / him, gender fluid perhaps,
Possibly.
sleep forever in a dungeon.
Right.
So they did.
Okay, great. There we go.
Find out who that someone is.
Your roll.
Hey.
Ooh.
Well, that's
Fish.
a fish.
All right, ready?
Yes. Oh, when the person that wanted to make Amaterasu sleep forever was actually the god of fish, Swapsies. Swapsies put her in a bubble dungeon that would cause her to sleep for 1,000 years under the sea.
Time. So Amaterasu is the god of cell phones.
God of cell phones.
Controlling all the cell phones in ancient Egypt.
All of them.
Correct?
All
Okay.
of them.
Very powerful
Very
and influential
powerful.
god.
Influential.
Who was born at the time of
Cornered the market.
when the ancient pyramid of Giza was created, only to have her nemesis god Swapsy, the god of bubbles,
God of...
ocean.
yeah, one of the gods of the ocean.
Okay, one of the gods of the ocean, Swapsy, put her in an underwater bubble dungeon and had her sleep for how many years? Just a million? 1,000 years. All right.
Okay, let's
All right,
go.
there we go. Swapsy, Amaterasu, how does she get out of this one? Does she ever? We're at roll 4, so that means we only have 3 story cubes to finish up this lore. It's getting pretty interesting.
Okay.
All right, so now I got these 2 people. When all of a sudden, a Shakespeare troupe, who was actually, Shakespeare was an alien that actually arrived in ancient Egypt and persisted 4 lifetimes to create some of the best plays. Him and his troupe put on masks, snuck into the bubble dungeon, and broke out Amaterasu and trapped the real Shakespeare there.
trapped the real Shakespeare in a bubble.
The guy they were using, the guy that was actually Shakespeare,
is not Shakespeare.
No, and the alien took his body and trapped him in that bubble dungeon.
So I guess the real question is, where's the real Shakespeare?
Oh yeah, where is he?
In
that bubble dungeon.
In a bubble.
Good thing to know he's still alive though.
Yeah, good.
Oh wait, back then, has that been 1,000 years since then?
He might be dead.
Yeah, he's probably still dead.
He's probably dead. I don't know if it matters one way or the other. What the f is that?
Not sure what that is.
It looks like a shadow. Well, that's kind of interesting. It's like a shadow from a child.
Get that look. There we go.
It's like a shadow.
All right, cool.
Behind a child. So, the alien Shakespeare troupe took the newly freed Amaterasu to escape her nemesis, now the other Shakespeare living in the bubble. She had powers which could manifest themselves as a shadow coming out of her back, and then so she knew that when her shadow appeared, Shakespeare was surely close.
We didn't advance the story very much there.
I was trying to get some plot going.
So that's like that part in Japanese manga where they just put filler episodes.
That's the filler. That's the filler
there.
cube.
And it also introduced one of the great plot lines that I love in every Japanese manga, which is, or at least in the 7 Deadly Sins, which is everyone has a new power whenever they're about to die.
Yeah, everyone's got a new power.
Chopped his head off. Oh, revenge! Chop my head off. Counter.
Counter.
Boom.
Counter robot.
Manga
arms.
makes no sense sometimes.
Device is called.
Okay, so I can't wait to hear how we get through the dungeon now that she's trapped there. This is our last roll, dude. I gotta finish up the lore in 10 seconds, bro.
So, like, Shakespeare basically, so what we've established is that when Shakespeare, the evil Shakespeare, is coming to get Amaterasu, her shadow appears.
Ah, okay.
So that's the,
Got
it.
Okay, now Swapsy, where did he go in this?
Swapsy is actually probably more like the bad guy than Shakespeare.
Yeah. So I'll try and wrap all that up. Yeah,
Swapsy
I think we missed that. All right, here we go.
Ready?
Boom. Just an arrow.
Just an arrow.
All right, here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. And with Amaterasu's great arrow bow, she shot down Swapsy with her shadow arrow, taking out not only him, but 1,000 leagues under the sea. That's why there's no water when you go 25,000 leagues under the sea. And she freed everyone and created all the cell phones.
And that's Amaterasu.
And that's the lore of Amaterasu. So let's bring it back for you guys. Amaterasu is the god of cell phones. That's why we have cell phones in the first place. She was basically created back in the days of the ancient Egyptians when the Pyramid of Giza was first built. Not only that, she was then captured by her arch nemesis, the sea god Swapsy, who put her in a bubble dungeon for 1,000 years, only to have the real Shakespeare somehow find her, however, to be swapped into the bubble dungeon as well by an alien Shakespeare, which went on to create all of those wonderful masterpieces like Macbeth and King Lear. Macbeth and McDonald's. He probably did that too, leaving the real Shakespeare trapped in there, hopefully alive, but probably still dead. Then at that point, she found out the Deus Ex Machina. She has a shadow power, which actually can turn into a huge shadow arrow, destroying anything in its path, including the bottom of the ocean. However, we've never been to the bottom. So, you know, obviously, because there is no water there, and so, and then basically destroying Swapsy and rising up like the brilliant goddess she is, creating all cell phones and leaving it the little note of how to do it in Steve Jobs' pocket.
She's also the reason you get those texts from AT&T that tell you that you're gonna get charged an extra $25,000 for your extra 2 G's of data.
You know, that makes sense because there's no way they could be monitoring everyone and sending them all those texts. No. How many people would that take?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
That technology is decades away.
Decades. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching us on this episode of Bad Lore. Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below, and I actually might be doing something a little special for someone who writes the funniest Bad Lore for Amaterasu down in the comment section below. Remember to be creative and try and come up with something that'll make us laugh, and we might shout you out in our next video. You guys want to see more Bad Lore? We're here for a whole month in Chile. We might be able to do some other gods.
We're stuck.
And if you want to see another god, go ahead and comment down in the comment section below which god you'd like to see us do and how how, if you'd like to add any parts of this game or tweak any aspects of it, you'd like to see that happen. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of the Smite World Championships, and of course, check out the real Amaterasu, whose God reveal was just released on Smite and looks amazing. I'm so excited. Hopefully, I'll have some videos coming out for that, but again, I am in Chile for this month, so you probably have to find some other YouTubers covering that, and I'll be back in February to do all of my Smite news and get readies and God Guide stuff back then. So stay tuned for that. As always, guys, my name is Raynday. He's
Benday.
And as always, never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.